I think your presentation is excellent. It was very valuable. It was changed from K to 5 and then 6 to 8. I understand and I think you said you would be in favor. Great idea. Second thing that was a little disturbing to me in your mentoring, you saw teachers who aren't correcting papers. That's a problem.
That wasn't all mentoring, that was just when I was there, I happened to see it.
Okay.
I agree.
Yeah, I'll do the same thing. It's called creative writing. When my kids go to school, and this is what my daughter tells me. And she says that it teaches the kids to be creative, teach them how to write. If they start correcting the kids on what they're doing wrong, they say that it ruins their creativity.
But instead of just saying it's wrong, why not just help sit them through and say, well, let's do it this way and see how this works out.
This is really interesting. It's different educational philosophies. But now we're going to, okay, so we're going to go back to K to 8 and 6, now K to 5. But this was good. Did we do this in Spanish yet?
Not yet.
Okay, now we're going to say Spanish.
Ella es una estudiante de segundo grado en high school. Ella no está de acuerdo contra el cambio a grado. Ella está en un programa para los niños en high school que se llama H1, que ella va a las escuelas primarias 1 o 2 veces a la semana. Ella va 2 veces a la escuela a la semana, 1 vez a la otra escuela y ve lo que está pasando en las escuelas primarias. Ella dijo que hay cosas que están pasando que los maestros no prohíben, por ejemplo, lectura, escritura. Hay ciertas cosas que están pasando que ella no quería y ella no quiere para los niños que puntos primarios con 7º o 8º grado. Ella hizo una sugerencia de en vez de cambiar de kinder hasta 8º, de kinder hasta 5º en la escuela primaria y cambiar 6º a middle school para que los niños entonces puedan aprender en ese nivel las esperanzas de la escuela del high school, también ayudando académicamente en ese nivel para que los niños puedan tener éxito cuando lleguen al high school.
Thank you so much. We now go to board candidate. Let's see. He is willing to give up Howard University.
Yes, I am.
To be here with us. So, Asim, go right ahead.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I first like to say, I wish we were all meeting here tonight under better circumstances. It's nice to see you all, but I wish we were in better spirits. I just had to say this first, in a bit of good spirit, because it seems like I always come up here and say the bad things at the high school. And they're all good things, but it seems like sometimes the bad outweighs the good. One of my friends, a junior, Tyrese Beverett, he is being scouted by Yale University, not for sports, but academics, in fact, and that is great. That should be now back to my usual stuff. The hallways, they are the same. I come to every single meeting, I say the same things. And I'm getting a bit frustrated because it's like, I'm not scared to come up. I know, I guess I'm criticizing the administration in a way, but not the people. Just the way things are running, I disagree. Like the hallways, they are still crowded. The security, what's going to happen with them? I don't know if you all started reviewing them. Reviewing a new security company that comes and says this security is going to be done soon. Now I put a couple of things. The secret, I don't even know what's happening in my school as far as the secret because I don't see it. I see some whiteboards in the classroom and some Wi-Fi monitors on the ceilings, but I don't see anything as far as going with that. I want to know, are we able to renew it for next year or not? Do we still meet the qualifications? My principal, Mr. Gilson, I'm not trying to single anyone out or anything. I think I need to see, and I know he's sitting here more in the hallway talking to kids, speaking to everyone. Do you have a question, Mr. Gilson?
No, I want to hear you.
Okay, I'm talking kind of fast. I want to get my 4 minutes.
No, I see. You're doing fine. They're learning from others, apparently.
There, that's all right. We need to see him more in the hallway. I talk to people now. This is February. You still do not know who's the leader of my school, and that's terrible. I'm not trying to discredit my principal or anything. We have so many things wrong in our school. When it comes to dress code, to behavior, to morale, to grades. The solution...
More program?
The solution would simply be to bring, as everyone's been saying, a group together, get a consensus of what everyone thinks and try to solve the problem. Because this has been, the problems we have now is a culmination of over so many years. It's not going to be fixed like that, but I believe that it will be fixed, and it definitely needs to be. And as a prospective candidate for the board, if elected, I would definitely try to work with the board to do that. And I wanted to say, I don't want my time to run out, but I am against the K through 8, and I'll say why. I pretty much agree with everything Julie said. Not pretty much, I do. I have two brothers there in Oak Street, 5th and 4th grade. My little brother, he came to me, AJ. He said, Sim, you can't, you're going to let them do K through 8? No. He said this to me shortly before I left. And I'm like, I'm trying not to, man. I'm going to see what I can do. But if he's in 5th grade and if he can see that, and I did talk to him about this, if he can see that, not just because I'm his older brother, but if he can see that, why can't all we? I know it's just a matter of difference of opinion. Some are for it, some are against it. That's politics, that's life. We're not going to agree on everything. I understand that. But what I don't agree with how the vote was rushed at the last meeting, how the language back and forth was to everyone. I'm sorry, I'm too long.
Take your time.
Take your money now.
Thank you, Mr. Fink. I do believe that we should rescind the decision, research it more, because do the studies show that K through 8 works? Yes. Does it show that 7 and 8 works? Yes. But you have to think about the district in which we have, what's best for the most people. These are our elected board officials. I think it's my knowledge in politics, thank you. In politics, the public servants who are elected by the people serve what the majority of the people want. And it seems like for the majority that's here, they are against it. And I think that should be listened to. Okay.
Through the chair.
Through the chair.
Through the chair.
Yeah. All right, now we have two through the chairs, but the chair was asking him a question. Go on, Chair.
That's it. You have any specific reasons why you're against K through 8? You know something? I'm just going to say ditto Carl, ditto Mayor, and ditto someone else. Why are you against K through 8? I understand you weren't called, etc. I understand all that. But today, why are you against K through 8? That's all.
Well, if you were listening to us earlier, I said I agree.
Just do it again, Frank. Do it again.
I said I agree with Julie, and that is there are so many suggestive themes that the older kids have in their mind that are just going to rub off and influence the younger ones. And you think, oh no, we have it all planned out. Yeah, in a perfect society, that is going to work. We're not perfect, nowhere is. But we have so many things going on under the surface that's just not right. And we need to leave it as it is and try to fix it how it is right now, because it goes down to discipline at the individual high schools and the administration who's willing to enforce it.
Through the chair, please.
Yes.
I would just like to say I really appreciate your comments. As usual, you did a great job. I think we've all heard enough, and everybody can speak. But Tracy said this before. I would like to just go on record to officially second Tracy's motion and rescind it tonight and vote on it now.
Through the chair, I just wanted to ask a question to the public. If the rest of the comments waiting for tonight due to the lateness of the hour, if they're all basically against the K-8 program, if you're willing to forgo your comments for tonight so that we could go ahead and vote on rescinding this K-8
and other business,
at least temporarily until the next meeting, the meeting after. If we could go ahead and agree that we can skip those comments till the next meeting and we can rescind it, that would be great, so we appreciate it. So we don't have to stay until 3 o'clock in the morning.
I do want to make one more comment before I go through. I do think that going forward, it is extremely important that all the communities come together, and I know there's a lot of communities here, that we sit down at future meetings and discuss this. And before a decision like this is made, that we're not going to all agree all the time. But I listened to the students, and it was mixed. But I think what we really need to do is do what's right for the children of Lakewood. And I do think what we really need to do is rescind this, you know, have meetings possibly over the next 6 months or 8 months and come up with something for the following September 2013. And that should be the
if the superintendent wants to make such a drastic decision that would affect all the children of Lakewood, perhaps they should have a questionnaire and speak to the parents beforehand. I know the survey or whatever it is, you know, the superintendent is hired to do a job. But when you make such a drastic change of the whole district, I think the parents should have a lot more input.
Miss Silva, 1 minute, Carl, hold on. 1 minute. Miss Silva, you are the superintendent and the only educator at this table. Are you willing to reconsider this move?
Yes.
Well, with that being said, we give her credit. You're willing to reconsider this move.
There's one more comment that I wanted to make before I was rudely interrupted.
Oh, Carl, you're so
Folks, you need to come down to the meetings. It's very important that we see a cross-section of Lakewood and the community. This is a great atmosphere. Just come down. You know what? These are your children.
So let's make a motion now to rescind this.
Well, based on Ms. Silva saying she's reconsidering, all in favor of rescinding their vote? Aye.
I didn't vote.
Oh, those people.
Can we make the motion?
Okay, hold it. Wait. Carl, the lady is asking for Spanish translation. She has that, right?
I apologize.
Thank you. Go ahead, Español.
A 12th grader at Lakewood High School, 12º grado en Lakewood High School. Él dijo primero que hay buenas noticias, que un amigo de él en grado 11 quizás puede ir a la Universidad de Yale, y la gente está hablando con él, es muy buena noticia. Él tiene ciertas cosas que vino a hablar, primero de los pasillos del high school que todavía están llenos, no hay ningún cambio. Segundo, la seguridad en el high school que va a pasar porque están cambiando la compañía. Tercero, el grant que tiene el high school para progreso, qué está pasando, solamente ver ciertas cosas. Podemos seguir con ese dinero el año que viene. Cuarto, él no está de acuerdo con el cambio de kinder hasta 8º grado por las mismas razones que dijo su amiga Julie antes, que los niños jóvenes tienen la mente con ciertas ideas que para los niños menores son negativas, no deben estar con ellas, están pensando como casi adultos ahora, quizás pueden hacer otras cosas, déjenlo como está ahora y pueden proponer otras sugerencias. También hicieron la pregunta al estudiante por qué él no está de acuerdo específicamente al cambio de kinder hasta 8º grado. Dijo por las mismas razones que dijo la niña antes. También Carl de la Junta está diciendo que él está proponiendo ahora para cambiar para atrás a kinder a 6º y también tener más sugerencias para tener algo para toda la comunidad ver, estar envuelto y después votar para hacer un cambio si necesitan hacer un cambio en 2012, 2013. Y también es bien importante los padres seguir viniendo, seguir asistiendo, seguir apoyando para tener lo mejor para los niños. Las reglas que hacen y las decisiones que hacen son para los niños.
With that being said, now we'll ask Ms. Silva, since you are the superintendent, and you are saying, based on what you heard tonight, you're willing to reconsider this, and are you in favor of the board rescinding their former vote so there could be more studies? Candidly, no disrespect to Ms. Silva, I just got a report from the doctor, which I've never seen before. I know some people are saying I was at this meeting that I don't even know what meeting was at, but you're willing to allow to further explore this idea, is that correct? Absolutely. With that being said, the superintendent's no longer recommending it. So if she's not recommending it, it can't happen.
Right.
So now we move forward. There's no need for a rescinding of the vote because the superintendent is no longer recommending it. Now, just to make sure, my co-counsel here, we're going to just take a formal vote, all in favor of rescinding the previous approval.
Aye.
Any against? With that being said, now let's say this in Spanish. And that yes?
Michael, you say it in Spanish.
Vamos a la playa ahora. Noche. Okay.
Can someone translate
El
that?
abogado dijo que la superintendente ahora está de acuerdo de revisar esto, mirarlo más y no seguir con el voto que tenían en la reunión pasada para el cambio de kinder a su octavo grado. Y entonces no es necesario para tener un voto, pero como la Junta está aquí, él hizo la sugerencia para sacar el voto que hicieron en la reunión de 2 semanas atrás para no hacer el cambio este año de kinder a su octavo grado. Y todos estaban a favor.
Claro, solo este año y el próximo.
With that being said, does everyone understand now? So there's no K-8 for now. For now. With that, thank you. Thank you, sir. Okay, with that being said, we do have other board business. Now, 1 minute. There are other people who signed up. Could I have my list sent down here? Because this. Now, I like sitting by the. Okay. At this point, the board has other business, though. We have to discuss. Carl, don't leave, please. We have to discuss a very important item, the budget. Because by law, the budget must be sent for a first review by the county office by March 5th. Thank you. The Singleton. March 5th, is that correct, Arlene? Yes. Okay.
Through the chair, I just want to recognize a board member who's here tonight, Leonard Thomas. Some board members would love to hear him speak because he was here tonight and he was a board member. Is he still here? Yes. All right. Can Leonard Thomas just speak before we go back to the rest of the board business?
What we first are going to do, Mr.
He's not here.
Thank you. The board. There you go. We're okay, all right? Mr. Silver wants to hear you now. You know what I'm saying. You know what that is. You know what that is, right, Ben?
What I'm saying is I invited you to come speak as a previous board member. We've pretty much closed public comments, but we would like to hear from you.
Even though we rescinded it. One thing, Lenny, just one thing, if you could. Wait, hold on a second. The board, as you know at last meeting, terminated the contract for security for the district. That is with a third-party company because the board did not feel they were doing an adequate job. The board actually went out and put out advertisements for a director of security. Can I have that file? The board got 6 or 7 candidates for the director of security, and Ms. Winters, Mr. Fastnock, and others interviewed those people. Tonight, the board in closed session, which is an exception to the Sunshine Law, met with 2 candidates. 2 of the candidates we met with, and the superintendent is recommending Mr. John Stillwell. Mr. Stillwell is still here? Ms. Stillwell. Where's his resume? Mr. Stillwell is a lifelong resident of Lakewood. Mr. Stillwell is a Lakewood High School graduate, class of 1975. Mr. Stillwell is a retired Lakewood police officer and worked for Lakewood Police for how many years? 27. Mr. Stillwell, if the board votes on this, will be starting on March 2nd, 2012. He will be earning a salary of $45,000 per year prorated. He will start March 2nd through June 30th, 2012. He will not require benefits because he's a retired police officer. Part of the approval, Mr. Stillwell has told us that he will have 3 police officers, former police officers, who will be ready to start March 10th, full-time, and 2 part-time former police officers.
Okay.
And that's part of the approval to approve him for tonight.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy over here.
So, again, his cost is $45,000 prorated. The officers, we asked him that we don't want to be in a situation where there's no security. He has guaranteed us, and he can correct me if I'm wrong publicly, he has assured us and guaranteed us, and part of his approval is that he can get us 3 full-time officers between the range of $20 to $25 an hour, no benefits needed, and the same with the 2 part-time officers. And then after 30 days of this starting, this will be reviewed. These officers obviously are trained as police officers, which will bring more security to our school. That's a good thing, right? Mr. Stillwell, what I said is correct. Did I misrepresent or misstate anything?
Absolutely not.
And you're ready for the job of Lakewood Schools where you graduated from?
Yes, I am.
All right. So with that being said, is there a motion to hire Mr. Stillwell? Yes. I make a motion. Oh, translation, yes.
El hombre que está aquí, John Stillwell, vive en Lakewood, se graduó de Lakewood High School. Están haciendo la recomendación para aceptarlo como el director de la seguridad. En la última reunión decidieron cambiar la compañía que tenían, no estaban trabajando bien. Él va a venir como director, él va a garantizar 3 personas que eran policía retirados para trabajar con él inmediatamente empezando el 10 de marzo. También 2 personas con 8 horas full time y después 2 personas mitad del tiempo para trabajar con él antes del fin del mes para tener la seguridad bien en el high school. Él está listo para empezar inmediatamente el 2 de marzo y está de acuerdo con todo lo que el abogado dijo para ayudar con la seguridad en las escuelas públicas de Lakewood.
I second the motion.
With that being said, is there any discussion?
Yeah, I would like to welcome. He wasn't hired yet.
Well, all right. Roll call, please.
Mr. Fink?
Yes.
Mr. Friedman?
Yes.
Mr. Greenspan?
Yes.
Ms. Mikio? Yes. Mr. Seidler? Mr. Silver?
Yes.
Mr. Tiff?
With one question, is it possible that we can get, on behalf of those elected, and have a job description?
There is a job description which is posted. It's posted. It's a job description which is posted. You saw the job description before you applied. It's posted. Okay.
Yes. Welcome.
So now did that pass?
We're not done.
Oh.
Mr. Tiff, your vote?
Yes.
Mr. Slatkin?
He's not here at the moment.
Mr. Grunhut?
Yes.
Motion
With that, we
passed.
say congratulations, Mr. Stillwell. Would you like to say a few words? Say a few words. We have, go ahead.
I'd like to thank the superintendent and the board for having faith in me. 33 years I did. Retired as a detective sergeant in the Lakewood Police Department Street Crimes Unit. I want to bring my expertise. I heard a young gentleman earlier today, this evening, talk about the security of the school system, the hallways. We will make the schools safe for all the parents to send their children to the Lakewood school system. To the chair, I would also like to make mention that Mr. Stillwell and the people that he employed will also bring a level of professionalism to the building as well, and fine examples for the kids hopefully that they want to be police officers, all right, at one time. Thank you.
And another one for
Una
Lakewood.
pregunta. ¿Esto de la seguridad solo es en high school o también va a ser en middle school? Porque también
He is the director for the entire security, and then as I said, that wasn't the question.
We're gonna have both, high school and middle
The
school.
question was, is it just for the high school or is
No,
it?
he is the director for the entire junta. And there will be security guards at the high school and the middle school. Police officers, not in uniform, in regular clothes, plain clothes. They will, we were told tonight, where is this? They will have armed, they will be armed. They will be armed. And there will be security in our schools. There will be. He's going to, within a period of 30 days, he's going to assess that. Initially, I lost the paper. Initially, it was
Took care of it.
two part-time.
Did you do right, Sonia?
What in the past has happened is we had a lot of security guards, but unfortunately, you agree, right? So now we're gonna next level. Yes, welcome. How do you say congratulations? Happy Christmas. Okay, we don't want to say. All right, thank you. See you March 2nd. Reports in the Silva's office, March 2nd.
Well, they're not going to have security guards.
Wait, Stephen Faber wants to ask you a question. All right, now we go on to the agenda.
Are you going to take away all the security guards, or are you going to leave some?
Let me explain to you. The board made a decision that the security companies we've been using, and the people have told us that here. I know that. That the security guards, and nothing personal, it wasn't working. In fact, one day a few weeks ago, we had one security guard in the high school. So Chief Lawson was nice enough at no charge to give us an extra police officer. We had more calm in the high school with one police officer than 7 to 8 guards, we were told. There were also incidents, and we're not to talk about names, unfortunately, where some of the guards were actually acting like students. And that was not working. And we discussed this, we got the community involved, and so the answer is there will be security guards, they will be police officers, and that. So there you go. So now we're going to go on with the agenda.
Can I translate that?
Yes.
La pregunta era que si van a sacar a toda la seguridad ahora que tienen, y la respuesta era que sí. En la otra reunión decidieron cambiar la compañía de seguridad y vamos a poner nuestras personas en seguridad en todas las escuelas.
Mike, through the chair.
Yes.
Through the chair. I have a question. Nothing to do with what we're talking about now. One of the concerns that I have was brought up by a parent, which is involving the SES program. Yes. About the SES program with some of the parents that when the student has or needs help from one of these programs, I believe, where the kids are able to take laptops home or give them laptops or whatever the case may be. When the students have a question, or when the parents are concerned or have a question about the curriculum that's on the program, that when they call for help, that there's no help. Or when there is help, the person on the other end does not speak the language of the person that needs the help. I sent an email out to Mayor over the weekend to see if that was an issue. I was hoping that Neva would have been here so she would be able to answer those questions. Is there any parents here tonight that have a problem with the SES program?
I applied 4 times and have not gotten anything yet. 4 times. And I filled out the papers 4 times and you still have not heard one word. I called her, I spoke to Neva, when you that's the problem.
Is Neva here tonight?
That's what I was asking.
No, but one of the things that Aniva has done in the department is called, she's had all the parents called and encouraged them to select another SES program because of the problems being presented by that particular SES program.
Yeah. Were you aware of this problem?
Yes, in fact, a complaint has been lodged with the State Education Department indicating that the program is not fulfilling everything on its contract with us.
Now, was there an issue with this provider last year?
Yes.
And then why was he allowed to be put back on the list again to provide services when he didn't render services?
At that time, the issue was very different. One of the issues that they had brought up, to the best of my recollection, one of the issues that was brought up with this particular SES program was that they did not have enough students, so that they wanted the district to help them recruit more students, which we did. And then it started in September, and then this happened. We've lodged a complaint. We've done our due diligence in terms of having somebody, every single parent call to indicate that there are others.
All right, at this point, we need to get to our agenda. Lenny is here though, and he was ready to... Oh, yeah.
La pregunta de Mr. Chief de la Junta era sobre el programa de SES, que es un programa por la tarde que provee ayuda adicional para niños, y él ha oído quejas de ciertas personas que el programa no de verdad no están ayudando a los niños, nadie devuelve llamadas o hay alguien que está en el teléfono que no puede hablar con la persona si habla inglés o si habla español, y hizo la pregunta aquí si había otros padres que han tenido problemas con la compañía, y mi mamá dijo que ella llenó la aplicación 4 veces sin respuesta. La superintendente sabe de las quejas. Ella también escribió algo para el Estado para tener documentación sobre esto, y van a seguir detrás de esta compañía.
All right, now we're going to discuss, we need to discuss the budget because, oh, Lenny.
Yeah.
Lenny gets a chance, I'm sorry.
No clapping. Lenny Thomas, 321 College Place, Lakewood, New Jersey. Just want to personally thank the board for listening to the community at large. And Ms. Silva for listening to the community at large, because I sat on that board for 9 years, and there were times when the community didn't come out, and it wasn't every time that the community came out that we actually made some changes. So the fact that you heard the overwhelming response from the community, that you responded to it, and that we'll be able to give meaningful thought and planning to the process, and it's really to be commendable. And then the other thing that I want to say is, in that process, one of the things that didn't get brought up tonight, that I hope is a part of the discussion, you and I discussed it in the back, is some of our middle school programs were feeding programs to the high school. If over the next few years this decision is made, they need to really look at what happens when you break up the athletic programs and send them all different places. How much is that really going to cost us? Make sure that's inside the plan when you bring them back together to practice, when you bring them back together for track and field, when you bring them back together for band, and all of those issues, because these programs are what help keep our kids off the street. So we can ill afford in the process of just looking at it from an educational standpoint and not realize that kids that continue to want to come to school are going to be better educated, and those programs just fall off. So make sure that we just keep that in the conversation. But other than that, I do want to commend this board for looking at that and for at least wanting to give the due diligence to making a good decision. So thank you.
All right, I was just handed a piece of paper from one of the teachers. We did say at the last meeting we're going to have that handicap parking. Is there, Rosie, is there a problem with that?
No, we handled it the next day, Lisa and I, and what we thought we did. So we're making it, we're going to have a conversation.
All right, so the handicap parking we spoke about, here it is, please handle. Now we need to get, because we have to discuss the budget, because by law it has something has to be said by March 5th. And it's not a final approval of the budget. It is a budget that goes down for review to the county office. They review it, and then they tell us if it's okay. Then it comes back here, and there's a budget hearing. And then the board decides the final vote, what budget they're putting forth to the taxpayers. So this is not a final budget. This is a preliminary budget for review purposes. Arlene, am I saying that right?
Correct.
So, Ms. Posada, can you explain to us what you're asking the board to do on whatever page of this agenda, which is page 3.
3. Okay, there is a correction to the local tax levy.
Okay.
It should read 73,580,210, and debt service fund, it should be 847 instead of 845.
Wait, I don't, ma'am, I'm looking at page 3. Total general fund, I see 73,821, that's out. It's now 73,580,210.
210.
What's the next number you're saying?
Okay, the
on
1
page
6.
3.
Yeah, the 1
Last
6.
digit, Michael, change to 7.
Oh, that's it?
That's it.
Oh.
Okay, and under the question, under the motion H, it should read for the purpose of funding the lease purchase.
Okay.
Okay, so now the question the board has, and other board members have questions, I'm sure. No questions. All right. What is this budget made out of? Do you have anything you want to tell us? Is there a presentation?
In this budget, I have the middle school roof replacement, which should amount to about a little over 1 cent on.
Actually, the board has in front of them let's do this organized.
Okay.
Mr. Trishada, can you do that up there? Do you have the packages for the board members to be given out? Remember that? We have a time so you can follow the intelligence.
Mr. Inspel, can I translate that?
Not yet. Where are the numbered pages?
Can I translate the process?
Yes.
Ahora van a hablar sobre el dinero del año. Cada año escolar tienen que llenar papeles para los ingresos de la Junta de Educación. Tienen que por lo menos revisar una vez antes del 5 de marzo. Es la primera vez que lo van a mirar, la primera vez que lo van a revisar. Si tienen el paquete, está en la página 3 del paquete de esta noche de la agenda de la Junta. Tienen que revisarlo ciertas veces más antes de tener uno final, antes del 15 de abril, para entonces votar. Ahora van a hacer una presentación sobre esto. Cambiaron cuando la School Administrator habló, cambiaron ciertos números en la página 3 de 845 a 847, donde dice 1.615.847 en vez de 845. Y después también en el total, en vez de 75.436 55 va a ser 73 580-2010. So, esos números cambiaron y ahora van a tener una presentación por primera vez revisando el dinero.
With that being said, we now, Ms. Posada, you just spoke about a roof. Could you please show us, all board members should have these two packages that are numbered. Where does it speak about the roof here, please?
The roof, if you would look at the...
Well, it's numbered, so now you can tell us what page to look at.
Okay. Page E15.
E15, please hold. Board members, E15. Okay, where does it say about roof?
Okay, the account number is 40-701-510-723.
And there's a number of 626,577 there?
Right, that would be the first payment of principal, and underneath that, the 117,600. That's the first payment for interest. And that would be due around May of next year.
So, how much would this whole roof cost us for the middle school?
It equates to a little less than a penny and a quarter.
No, how much over years would the roof cost us?
We're estimating it's going to be about $3,300,000.
Well, yes, actually,
for a 5 year.
We've done that also.
For a 5 year.
Are you suggesting, and that's on the agenda? That's on the agenda, actually. That's letter H on page 3, approval of Phoenix Advisors as financial consultants for purpose of selling anticipated. It's not a bond, but it's a lease purchase with the roof before.
Right. The board has been discussing this roof since 2005.
No, wait. So Arlene, someone's saying if we're getting a lease purchase, which means we're getting money, why is it in the budget? Because you have to pay it.
You have to pay off your first lease purchase payment. In 5 years.
5 years, that's $3 million. Ms. Posada, I have a question.
Sure.
On the roof issue?
Yeah, on the roof issue. You weren't around last year, but this roof issue is a recurring issue, and last year we even were told the roof was going to cave in, but within a couple of weeks. The roof you have here as a regular debt service payment, there's two problems with that. First of all, the board never voted yet to do it. You're making an assumption that the board will vote tonight to do it, and you already put it into a budget. Should the board vote not to do it, that would have to be removed from the...
Well, that's why it's on the agenda.
That's why we're discussing it.
It's just a little bit putting the horse before the cart, or the cart before the horse. That's number one. Number two, you don't have it on any line item as an expenditure, and I believe that you would have to put it in as some kind of capital outlay or a maintenance issue. It's got to be in an expenditure. The debt service is just the debt service payment, but you're going to have to spend the money somewhere. It's got to be in the budget that you are spending $3 million. The income would be coming from a lease purchase, but you got to spend the money.
E15 is an expense.
No. E15 is a debt service. That's not, you have to have a capital outlay, something about how much money is going to go to why an account balance.
E15 is your expenditure. If you look at
Rosie?
Yeah.
All right, what else is in this budget so the public knows what is budget?
This budget is, the basic budget is for the increase in teacher salaries.
Teachers, Pastor, this is, hear me out here, this is important, and I don't know if it's going to hear it. Built into this budget is what, Ms. Posada? The teachers what?
The teachers' third year of their salary increase.
Okay.
Is this including the union contract or not including?
This is including the union contract.
Okay. So if we vote this contract? If we vote this budget, does that...
Well, let's go through it. If we could go on the screen, Mr. Trishada, so the public is aware, and the board members. If we could look at that, please, Mr. Jim. That's part of our budget, yes. Could someone explain this? This says tax levy. 2010 was $71,593,000. Currently, if I'm reading this correct, it's $70,238,000. There was a decrease of $1,355,621. And for 2012, you're proposing an increase of $3,342,206 from local fund. Is that correct?
Correct.
And what you do here is that the population, what you've shown here, is the population is going up. Special education population is going up. Limited English is going up. So would it be fair to say over the last 2 years, there was a decrease, and then before that it was a flat one. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So what you're proposing is an increase of $3,342,206.
And that's basically to bring up last year's decrease.
Okay, and this is showing if you own a house for $100,000, going all the way to probably Mr. Seiler's house at $600,000, what it would cost the average taxpayer. Again, I'm looking at this, so a penny is worth $638,512.28. So if you would go up the average house in Lakewood, I don't know, $300,000 or $400,000, I assume average is an increase as it says there.